O, palo. Submariner, oh. Ibang klase, easy 600K.
Ushering another weekend of exciting youth basketball action here in the historic city of San Juan, and we are live from Xavier School as we will headline the 14 under, 16 under, 18 under division for both Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors versus Marikina Junior Shoemasters and Quezon City 808 Junior Giants versus Davao King Thorns. And once again, at mga kaliga, this is the country's premier youth basketball league, and we are live here in San Juan. As you can see, our games for today, it's the same format. 4 teams will be matching up against each other in the 14 under, 16 under, and 18 under division. First game is going to be San Juan versus Marikina, and then next game is going to be Quezon City versus Davao King Thorns. Magandang umaga mga kaliga, and for the very first time kami yung makakasama Rowie Sacote and Coach Noy Africa and Richie Sanggalang on the sidelines. So Coach Noy, this is our first time together. I'm really excited to cover this game for you, and so far our first game in our 14 under division, a team who is at a 3-game winning streak, and as another team which is San Juan is looking for their first win here in this tournament.
Yeah, that's right. And so far, San Juan in 6 games haven't won, and ito namang Marikina right at the, near the top of the standings, currently at 4-1. So for Marikina, cannot afford to be complacent against this winless team.
Yes, again, every game is another game of basketball. Am I right? So that's why we will talk about the last performance netong Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors when they lost the game to Davao King Thorns.
Yeah, that's right. They lost big against the Davao King Thorns, 70-60 in that game. They allowed Davao to shoot 41% from the field. They were out-rebounded 53-47, and they gave up too many points in the paint, giving up 52 against just 32 for themselves, and giving also itong Davao second chance points, 20 second chance points in that game. Despite that loss, very impressive performance coming from Macrayan Makasarte, finishing with 20 points and 9 rebounds.
Yes, and that was the smallest margin of a loss dito so far dito ng San Juan, kasi usually they were losing by 40 plus points in their first 5 games. Pero let's talk about naman itong makakatapat nila, itong Marikina Junior Shoemasters.
Yeah, the Junior Shoemasters won over Manila 66-59, and in that game they were out-rebounded by 11, 54-43. However, they were a +8 from the free throw line, converting 13 against just 5 for Manila, forcing also Manila to 23 turnovers,
yes,
which they converted to 16 points of turnovers. And the player to watch who had a very good game against Manila, Lance Gregory Hanopol, finishing with 19.6 rebounds, 7 assists, and 1 steal.
Grabe, what a great performance nga dito for Lance Gregory Hanopol. So let's see if San Juan will try to get their first win here in this ball game and try to break the 3-game winning streak dito ng Marikina Junior Shoemasters. And I know everyone's looking forward to this game, so that's why we'll turn it over to our venue announcer, Gio Cruz, for our Doride starters of the ball game.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome at Xavier School here in San Juan City. This is the Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2, ang Liga ng Bawat Batang Pilipino. We're live on the official FB page and YouTube channel of the Junior MPBL. It's the first game of today's schedule. 14 under division, Marikina Junior Shoemasters versus Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. Now let's meet the starting lineups, beginning with Marikina Junior Shoemasters. Starting guard number 1, Mucho Mabigat. Other guard number 4, Gian Cayosa. Starting forward number 5, Lance Hanopol. Other forward number 9, Dandan Enriquez. At center number 26, Lawrence Eslao. Head coach for Marikina Junior Shoemasters 14 under, Monroe Quezon. Assisted by Jonathan Taronas, Fernando Bunag, Gian Silona. Team managers AI Mabigat, Sara Manlutak, and JC Lim. And now let's meet the starting lineups from Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. At point guard number 33, Teo Guerzon. Shooting guard number 1, Asher Cacho. Small forward number 11, Euro Galano Tan. Power forward number 15, Santi Javier. And man in the middle, number 6, Aaron Ramos. Head coach for Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors 14 under, Ferdinand. Our game officials, crew chief, Bang de Guzman, umpire 1, Nino Barcenas.
This is our door-eyed bola ng Pilipinas starters of the ball game. For Marikina, it's going to be Mabigat, Cayosa, Enriquez, Hanoco, Leneslao. And for San Juan, it's going to be Guerzon, Gacho, Tan, Ramos, and Javier. Once again, mga kaliga, this is our first game of our Saturday special of the Junior MPBL Season 2. Kami ang inyong makakasama for the very first time. Nag-tandem tayo. Roy Sacote, together with me is Coach Noy, Africa, and Richie Sanggalang. So, Coach Noy, this is the 7th game dito for San Juan, and they're still looking for their first win. Meanwhile, etong Marikina naman, they are in a 3-game winning streak.
So again, these two teams will have different motivations for
Yes.
the game. San Juan definitely still looking for their first victory, while for Marikina, you'd want to keep your win-loss record as good as possible, especially since so far they've only lost once against Antipolo, and just staying on top of the standings and hopefully getting a good possession coming into the playoffs.
Yes, and this is the first time that Marikina Junior Shoemasters will play dito sa Xavier. And we are in San Juan. And San Juan, Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors are basically, technically from San Juan. And their previous game, they lost only by 10 points to Davao King Thorns. And they were averaging, the first 5 games, they were averaging a losing margin was 43.6 points per game. And yung previous game nila 10 points, so na-trim down. So huge improvement for San Juan.
Again, at this stage, I think even for head coach Ferdinand, the priority here is to keep improving. I mean, this is probably going to be a hard, difficult season for them. But moving forward, in the coming seasons of the Junior MPBL, you'd want this team to grow together.
Yes, kasi it's, again, basketball is either you win or you learn. And mga bata tong mga to. So there are a lot of potential coming in. And this is just the 14 under division. We can already see the talent of these young kids. These are the future of Philippine basketball,
Yeah, that's right. And of course, we know how successful the San Juan program is in the 16 and 18 under division. That's why, this is the first step towards the San Juan basketball program being one of the more elite ones here in the Junior MPBL.
Yes, you've mentioned already the 16 under and 18 under ng Makabagong San Juan. Well, for the 14 under, they are the last in the standing. They are the 11th overall. Yung 16 naman ng San Juan, they're the 4th. And etong 18 naman, they are the 2nd. So kita natin parang ladder, pataas ng pataas. Kung pataas na pataas yung age, pataas na pataas rin yung standings nila. That's a good lefty layup right there for San Juan. And so far, our score 4-2. And Enriquez, again, Denden Enriquez, he is the 3rd league leaders in terms of scoring. For a 14 under player, he's averaging 22.8 points per game.
Yeah, and especially when you talk about Marikina, you cannot fail to talk about itong si Denden Enriquez. He has been very impressive even during the inaugural season of the Junior MPBL. Very rare that we've seen players playing still in the same division
Yes.
in the second season. And Denden Enriquez obviously has really grown, and yung game niya talagang sumabay din. Averaging in the tournament 23 points, 5 rebounds, 4 assists, and 5 steals.
And those are league leader stat sheets. Again, Dwayne Enriquez, 3rd overall in terms of scoring, 10th overall in terms of dishing out assists, 4th overall in getting steals, and average field goals made niya. He's averaging 9.5 field goals made per game. That's the 2nd best in the league in our 14 under division. And that says a lot. You mentioned he played already in the last year in the 14 under division. Ngayon, nasa 14 pa rin siya. So, mas bata pa pala siya last year. And he's playing at a high level already.
Actually, numbers nga last year was already impressive, and it's even more impressive now.
Yes, as first time out of the ball game call here for Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. So take a look at this replay right here. Look at that alley-oop pass to Lance Gregory Hanopol. That was a thing of beauty right there. Pure connection for Quezon City Junior Shoemasters as we have a Nature Spring halftime break. We'll be back mga kaliga after the break.
What a way to start the day with Junior MPBL Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors versus Marikina Junior Shoemasters. Simple lang ang goal ni Coach Monroe today of Marikina Junior Shoemasters at yon ay manalo ulit. Coach Monroe believes na ang kanilang running game system, ang kanilang sandigan na kahit sino ang kanilang kalaban, hindi nila kailangan magpalit ng kanilang game plan. Would their ongoing system help them bag another win? Back to you, Rowie and Coach Noy.
That's one of the things that we need to watch out for, especially for Marikina. Richie already mentioned the running game style of Marikina, and in terms of fast break points, they are the 6th team overall in this tournament, averaging 21.2 fast break points per game. So this team really loves to run.
I think that's really why Denden Enriquez has been very successful in this program. He's tailor-fit for that running game system of Coach Monroe Quezon, and so far he's been showing it.
Yes, and ang maganda yung ganun, no? Yung according to your playing style, yung coaching system, and that says a lot. That's why he's doing so much right now for Team Quezon, or Marikina Junior Shoemasters, etong si Dwayne Enriquez.
And you can actually see Coach Monroe really already has given the full trust for Denden Enriquez to run not only the offense but on the defensive end. He is the anchor for this team.
So let's see, hindi lang naman si Dwayne talagang mag-step up pa dito. We have Lance Hanopol and marami pang iba. As 2 free throws dito again for Marikina Junior Shoemasters. This time for Jean Cayosa. And for Marikina Junior Shoemasters, in terms of free throw percentage, they're averaging as a team 52.5%. So, literally, Coach Noy, parang literal, pag nasa free throw sila, 50-50 kung papasok or hindi.
Actually, that's something interesting here in the Junior MPBL. We don't really see a lot of teams shooting better than 60-70%.
Yes. Actually, yun nga yung maganda. And mga bata tong mga to, at a very young age, they already know how to shoot free throws. And that says a lot, especially for a tight ball game. As look at that fast break opportunity. We've talked about the fast break plays dito ng Marikina. It's going well. And sino pa nga ba yung nag-finish? Denden Enriquez.
And of course, since Denden Enriquez is the first line of their pressure defense, he gets a lot of fast break transition points.
And on the other end naman, it's Hanopol once again. The Hanopol Enriquez connection. As Lance Hanopol was able to sink that one in.
So that has been one of the major issues for San Juan, being able to handle yung mga full court pressure defense, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
And that's why we are looking at a 12-point lead already, and already crossing the halfway mark here in the first quarter. As there's a foul again. And that's the 3rd team foul of Makabagong San Juan. And so far, Marikina hasn't committed any fouls yet.
And they're the one putting pressure on the basketball. So that's very impressive, the discipline being shown by Marikina.
Grabe, doon ako napapabilib. At a very young age, Coach Noy. They already have a basic basketball IQ. And laki pa nang pwedeng i-grow ng mga players na to. And a turnover here committed by Marikina. And that's gonna be a kickball violation. So ball stays with Makabagong San Juan, Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. So let's talk about naman yung previous performance ng Makabagong San Juan Warriors when they lost against Davao King Thorns. Again, although the team has faced significant challenges, their most recent game was they showed improvements, no, with the smallest losing margin of just 10 points. So let's see if mas mag-improve pa yung performance nila in this game.
Well, again, every game is an opportunity to start over. So for San Juan, although right now they're down by 12, but still a lot of work for them to do here in this game if they want to get their first win.
And let's see, as so far, ball stays with Makabagong San Juan. with 12 seconds on the shot clock here. Look at that double teaming effort for Quezon City. And bucket plus the foul for Kyle Atanasio. Oh my, that's a great shot for Kyle against two Marikina defenders, huh?
Well, ever since the start of the tournament, itong San Juan, they've been getting baskets whenever they're able to execute in the half court.
And that's our pound for pound fitness, foul counted, pound for pound experience, the pound effect.
But they do miss on the free throw line, so no 3-point opportunity for San Juan.
Yes, and in terms of free throws, they are shooting 47% from the free throw line. Etong Makabagong San Juan. So still, again, for a very young age coach, good numbers pa rin yan, ha? Oh, what a move by Lance Alopo with the sidestep.
And that's another concern for San Juan, just giving up too many points in the paint. In that loss against Davao, they gave up 52. Cannot afford to do that if you want to get victories here in the junior MPBL.
Yes, and at the same time, San Juan struggled with their shooting. No, they only made 26.7% of their shots compared to Davao's 41.7%. And they have Davao had more than double the steals compared to San Juan. 7 to 15 yung nangyari. And so far, ball here goes to Marikina. Oh, nice give and go play. Then with the one-handed shot, can't get it. Gets his own rebound and was able to sink that one in.
Gotta like the strength shown there by Denden Enriquez, following it up with just one hand.
Persistency pays off. And another steal here for Marikina. As good pass inside. Almost an end one. But Cali's Miguel Tubig will go to the line to shoot a pair.
What I also like about the game of Denden Enriquez, he knows he can score, but he knows that it's easier if you involve your teammates.
Yes, and look at that right there. No box out for Makabagong San Juan. That's why Denden was able to get his own rebound and was able to sink that one in.
And again, that's not something that you see much in the 14 under division. Players following up their own miss, and in that case, Denden Enriquez using even just one arm.
Grabe, no? Oh, stepped out of bounds. An unforced turnover committed for Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. And that's going to be a substitution as papasok dito si James Lim for Marikina. A 13-point lead with 2 minutes remaining here in the first quarter. Already, Marikina showing dominance here against Makabagong San Juan. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Oh! What an acrobatic finish for Lance Hanopol.
And Hanopol and Enriquez combining for a total of 16 points. 16 out of the 21 for Marikina.
Wow, already. Grabe. For those who don't know, Dwayne Enriquez is the first team leader in terms of scoring for the entire Marikina team. Second si Lance. Dwayne averaging 22.8. Lance Hanopol averaging 11.6 points per game. Yung dalawa pa lang na yun, averaging 33 points per game combined kaagad. That's the Hanopol-Enriquez tandem. As less than, or 1 minute and 12 seconds remaining here in the first quarter. And the shot clock reset to 14 seconds. And a wide open bomb. Can't get it to fall. So ball will go to Makabagong San Juan.
And what you also like about this Enriquez Hanopol combination for Marikina, aside from, of course, they can score whenever they want to, but combined 10 assists between the two of them.
Yes. And indeed, yun nga kasi Lance Hanopol is the third league leader in the entire 14 under tournament in terms of dishing out assists, averaging 5.4. Dwayne Enriquez naman, he's the 10th overall in this tournament with 3.8 assists per game. So grabe talaga yung combination ng dalawa nila, and with the Monroe Quezon system, that's why this team right now is sitting at the number 4 seed, because on how they play the ball and how they force the team to, their opponents to force them to commit turnovers, and at the same time yung fast break points talaga eh. That's what sets them apart to other team.
And again, that's head coach Ferdinand for San Juan. But again, for Marikina, it's pretty much most of the teams here do employ the same kind of ploy. They want to pressure the basketball full court, force the turnovers, get easy points in transition. But again, the question for any of the teams, when things slow down, how do you execute, especially in the half court?
Yes, especially yung mga pagsa-setup ng plays. No? Nakikita natin yun sa 16 under pero mas lalo sa 18 under division. Yung mga ganon. Madalas kasi pag ganitong edad, mahilig ka talaga tumakbo eh. Kasi yung resistensya, yung stamina nandun eh.
And again, actually, if you look at San Juan, whenever they've been given the opportunity to execute when they cross the half-court line, they are able to get decent shots in the game.
Yes.
So far, 4 out of 6, 66%. Ang problema, they have already given up 10 more field goal attempts to Marikina.
And that's why we're looking at 12-point lead here in favor of Marikina Junior Shoemasters. 15 seconds remaining. Battle for possession there, but ball stays with Makabagong, or ball goes to Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. 7 seconds remaining. Passes it. Kendrick can't get it to fall. They still have time though. And that basket will not count for Kyle Atanasio, and that ends the first quarter with a 12-point lead in favor of Marikina Junior Shoemasters. And so far, Coach Noy, what can you say about these teams?
Well, definitely Marikina has just come out running, and for San Juan really need to get their offense going.
So let's see if how Marikina or Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors will be able to bounce back here in the second quarter, because our score at the end of the first quarter, 21-9.
Ball possession, Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors.
That break was brought to you by Doray Bola ng Pilipino, the first Pinoy basketball volleyball brand here in the Philippines. So far, at the end of the first quarter, it was a 12-point lead here for Marikina Junior Shoemasters. And again, Junior Shoemasters are in a 3-game winning streak. Meanwhile, Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors are still looking for their first win.
And top priority for San Juan actually is how do they break that pressure defense of Marikina. So far in that first quarter, already committing 13 turnovers, while Marikina able to score 13 points off those turnovers.
And if you talk about Marikina in terms of points from turnovers, they are averaging 25.2 points per game. That's the 6th league leaders in terms of points from turnovers. So it just shows that every time their opponent turns the ball over, they are always capitalizing on that.
Well, again, that is what fuels the running game offense of Coach Monroe Quezon, as Vives will be called for an inbound violation.
Yes. So unforced turnover there committed for Marikina. So ball will go to San Juan. They will be inbounding it from the baseline. That's a quick 3-point shot from the left corner, but can't get it to fall for Kendrick Centeno. Here comes Royet Villarreal, and there's going to be a kickball violation. So some substitutions here as Euro Galano-Tan will be checking in for San Juan. 15 on the shot clock here for Marikina. Oh, great steal for San Juan. Euro with the fake, with the shot. Great defense for Marikina. 2 defenders bothering Euro-Tan that time. And here comes Marikina once again. And Kyle Atanasio will be called for a blocking foul. And at a very young age, kita mo mga nagsa-sidestep na, nag-euro step na, yung mga shooting percentages gumaganda. Imagine mo, ganitong edad pa lang, ganyan na sila maglaro. What more pa kaya kapag tumanda na sila and kung magmamature pa yung playing style nila, Coach Noy?
That's actually why it's very interesting. You know, the way the junior MPBL has been built. We're in the 14 and under division, and if you have teams in the 16, 18, and then eventually in the 21 under, you're gonna see the development of these players, and yung particular programs will benefit, especially if they get to keep those players playing within the same team as they move up in division.
Yes, and especially that's really important kasi again, these are young kids. Ito yung pina-prioritize nyo yung foundation as a player, basic basketball IQ, basic shooting, basic passing. Those are really important kasi it will carry over to the next level Because there's a foul called again for against Makabagong San Juan. So that's going to be 2 free throws. Once again for Calix Miguel Tubig. And Calix Miguel Tubig. Again, Marikina shooting at least 52% from the free throw line. He now has 1 point. Actually, this is the first game that Calix is shooting his some free throws in the entire tournament. As you saw earlier, the entire coaching staff of Marikina Junior Shoemasters, headed by Coach Monroe Quezon.
Again, very important for the teams here. The other players, of course, to get some minutes on the floor, and it's an opportunity for them to earn their minutes moving forward.
Yes, and look at that alley-oop play right there, but a miss for Ryan Makasarte, and there's a whistle by the officials, and that's going to be a foul on Calix Miguel Tubig. So that's going to be 2 free throws for San Juan. As Briel Salazar will go to the charity stripe to shoot to shoot 2 shots.
And this is something that San Juan can try to take advantage of, get to the free throw line, and hopefully get to make some free throws. Then yung Marikina on the other end have not really been doing well from the free throw line, only 3 out of 10.
And Briel actually is shooting 100% from the free throw line in the entire tournament. Grabe, wala pa siyang sablay sa free throw dito Oh, nice pass. Too strong. But was able to sink that one in once again for Ryan Masarte.
Difficult shot for San Juan there. Cut the lead down to just 10 points.
And there was a whistle once again by the officials. That's going to be on Ryan Makasarte, and that's his first personal foul, second team foul here for San Juan. 23-15 is the score. Finally, San Juan was able to trim the lead to single digits. As John Joseph Andres will check in for Marikina. We're looking at an 8-point game here. So far, Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. It's a 3-point shot for Denden Enriquez.
Seeing that the lead has been cut down to just 8 points, Denden Enriquez bringing his team back up to double digits.
And Denden Enriquez is averaging 16.7 in terms of shooting threes. As what a strong drive but strong shot. Ball stays with Marikina and stolen for Makasarte. Oh, that was a careless pass for Makasarte. But counter steal here. As Makasarte will lay that in, but again another miss. And lucky break for San Juan as there's a foul against, or no. The foul was on Kyle Atanasio. I thought that's going to be on Marikina.
But on that play with a rebound by Spencer Saw, just protecting the basketball, being called for the foul is Atanasio of San Juan.
And now that's the third team foul for San Juan here, and some substitutions for both teams. Both coaches are trying to mix and match their players. 5 minutes and 40 seconds remaining. Balik sa 11 ang lamang dito ng Marikina as a 3-point shot from the left corner. And ball goes to San Juan.
Well, so far that outside shot for Marikina not yet consistently falling 1 out of 4 for them in the game.
And so far, San Juan here almost stepped out of bounds there for Inigo Locsin. 10 seconds on the shot clock for San Juan as a 3-point shot for Briel misses that time, but ball stays with San Juan. Oh, nice move. But stepped out of bounds. Ball goes to Marikina.
So far here in the second quarter, a better showing for San Juan. They've actually outscored Marikina 6-5 here in the second quarter.
Wow. So 1 point lang yung lamang dito ng San Juan here in the second quarter. So let's see, a nice pass to Spencer Saw. Spencer Saw averaging 20 points per game as we have a second quarter high, or 4 points per game rather, as we have a second quarter report from our courtside reporter Richie Sangalang.
Marikina Junior Shoemasters key player Lance Gregory Hanopol said na they just have to continue kung paano yung laro nila last game kasi ito ay magandang laro para sa kanila. Coach Monroe and even Hanopol believes in the Hanopol-Enriquez tandem, and Coach Monroe said na maganda ang teamwork nila dahil kasama sila sa top 5 scorers and assists ng ligang ito. Although they are confident in today's game, Coach Monroe asked them to always share the ball at huwag maging kampante. Back to you, Rowie and Coach Noy.
And it's really important na wag maging kampante talaga kasi another basketball game, you're only as good as your previous game. Diba? This is another set of team that you are matching up against. So that's why hindi talaga pwede maging kampante ang isang team. That's why those kinds of coaches na tinuturo ni Coach Monroe Quezon, that says a lot. That's why you mentioned again Dwayne Enriquez and then Lance Hanopol. That's why they are in the top players dito sa ating 14 under because of those types of mentality.
That's easy actually to be over complacent against a team that's 0-6, and that's actually a trap game for most of the strong teams whenever you go up against those winless teams. So these teams have nothing to lose, and whenever they play that loosely, minsan may tulog, but then again, that Enriquez-Hanopol connection actually together, parang triple-double yun.
Actually.
Diba? 35 points, close to 10 rebounds, close to 9 assists per game.
Just for those two players alone, meron pang ilang players pa? 12 pa after them, di ba?
Easily, I think 23 you're allowed to line up 25 players. You're allowed to play 20, is it? I think they're allowed to play 20 in a game.
Yes. And we are looking at a dominating game so far for Marikina as they are now up by 21 points. That's why San Juan calls a timeout here, and what a great layup right there, but misses. But lucky break as John Joseph Andres was right there to clean that one in, and we have a Nature Spring timeout break, mga kaliga. We'll be back after this.
Langhiya, 20 points per game. Buti nakita ko, saan na nga ba yun? Sabi ko may mali. Total points pala yun. Ay, magkatabi kasi. Ayun.
Once again, mga kaliga, that timeout break was brought to you by Nature Spring. Safe and affordable bottled drinking water to Filipinos anytime and anywhere. As we take a look at the entire San Juan Mighty Warriors team, of course, they want to bounce back here in this ball game. As so far, with 2 minutes and 28 seconds remaining in the second quarter, they are trailing by 21 points already. Again, their average losing margin before their previous game against Davao was 43.6 points per game. Yung last game nila, they improved it to just trimming it down to just a 10-point loss.
And actually, after sabihin natin kanina that San Juan was outscoring Marikina 6-5, a 10-0 bomb exploded by Marikina has allowed them to get back this 21-point lead.
Oh, and a turnover as Denden gets the steal, but misses the shot, and another miss rin for Red Galang. And once again, John Joseph Andres using his length to grab those boards.
And what you like about Andres on that play, did not put the ball on the floor anymore, just keeping it high, way beyond the reach of the players of San Juan.
Kita-kita mo yung height advantage neto ni John Joseph eh. Is really using that advantage already, kaya hindi niya na talaga nilapag.
Tingin ko nga, pag tinaas nga yung bola sa harap ko, baka hindi ko na rin maabot eh.
Sabi, babata pa to. Ibig sabihin, tatangkad pa yan. He's on his way to 6 foot plus. So 1 minute and 49 seconds remaining. 22-point lead. This is the largest lead so far for Marikina against San Juan. And look at the pressure defense here for Marikina. Pero mabilis lang na itawid dito ni Theo Guarzon.
Until he eventually just turns the ball over. But you like how when they crossed the half-court line, he tried to pull it back out to run a play. Unfortunately, he lost control of the basketball.
As Enriquez, John Joseph Andres misses the ball, or loses the ball rather. Inigo, and another turnover, but a counter steal for San Juan. And look at the pressure defense by Marikina. Every time San Juan brings down the ball, ibang klase yung pressure defense talaga ng Marikina eh.
Well, that is really the identity of Marikina. Sabi nga ni Coach Mondo earlier, they do not change their game plan, game in and game out. They're gonna try to pressure the basketball. Meron lang points in the game where they stop pressuring the basketball, and that's when actually San Juan made their move early in the second quarter.
Well, if it's working, why change it, diba? As there was a foul called this time on John Joseph Andres. So that's going to be 2 free throws for Santi Xavier. So 2 free throws here for Santi. As Santi Xavier, he is averaging 25% from the free throw line. As he misses the first shot, let's see if he can go 1 for 2 here and try to trim down the lead. And ito talaga, Coach Noy, pag ganitong games na dapat importante talaga yung free throw department, kasi this is the perfect time, especially for San Juan, to trim down the lead habang nakatigil ang oras.
Especially when you're struggling from the field, only 6 out of 15. So
Wow.
Gonna need to take advantage of those free opportunities to score.
But ball stays with San Juan with 12 seconds on the shot clock here. Oh, good defense for Marikina. But ball stays with San Juan. So 2 free throws dito for Asher Cacho as he was fouled in the act of shooting.
So in that first quarter, we were raving about how Marikina has been able to put pressure on the basketball, play excellent defense without fouling. But here in the second quarter, they get into the penalty and will mean free throws here for San Juan.
However, Asher misses the first free throw. He's averaging 50% from the line. Exactly, like his average talaga. 1 for 2 there.
Usually, the numbers don't
lie. Yun nga eh. And right now, we're looking at a 21-point lead as Denden will shoot. And this team right here, Marikina, they are the 4th best team in terms of scoring inside the paint, averaging 50.4 points per game inside the paint alone. And that says a lot as a team.
And we're only in the first half already 32 points in the paint for
Grabe.
Marikina.
Already on their way to, mas mahigitan pa yung average nila.
They're on pace actually for 60.
Grabe. And it just shows, again, the highest percentage is when you are the nearest to the rim. And that's why mataas yung percentage nila. They're averaging, well, as a 14 under division, 42% from the field. That's the 7th highest in our league right now in our 14 under division. Kasi they love to shoot inside the paint eh.
Well, especially since they
Fast.
get to score in transition,
Yes.
forcing those turnovers, and usually those are layups that you're taking.
And there's another foul against Marikina. So that's going to be 2 free throws for Teo Guerzon. And Teo Guerzon, he's averaging only 30% from the free throw line as he misses the first. So he's not shooting a great job at the charity stripe. And he's averaging 4.8 points per game as he misses those 2 free throws. Less than 20 seconds remaining. Shot clock is off already for Marikina. Enjoying a 22-point lead. A wide open 3. Too strong that time for Red Galang. And here comes San Juan. 10 seconds remaining here. Enriquez gets the ball. They still have time. 5 seconds. Then. Stripped. And that is the end of the first half. Marikina increasing the lead, ending the second quarter, this time with 22 na.
That's the second straight quarter where they've limited itong San Juan to less than double digits, only 8 points here in the second quarter.
Grabe, our score is 39-17, but let's take a look at this highlight so far. After that miss, great cleanup for John Joseph Andres. That time, quality minutes already for John Joseph Andres. But that is the end of the first half. Our score 39-17. So mga kaliga, stay tuned lang as we'll be back after this halftime break.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang cassava, Nature Spring, #1 bottled water in the Philippines, Pound for Pound Fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes.
Welcome back mga kaliga to your Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL Season 2. And so far, these are the halftime highlights. This is a 20-point lead already favoring Marikina Junior Shoemasters, and they are on their way to a 4-game winning streak.
Yeah, that's right. And they pretty much just stuck to the game plan, trying to get opportunities to run in transition. As if you look at the numbers, they're shooting way better than San Juan, 56% to just 37%.
Wow.
And forcing those turnovers, which has fueled their points off turnovers as already 22 turnovers on San Juan.
Yes, and they limited, yun nga, San Juan to, last game, they limit Manila, or Marikina limited Manila to shoot only 35%. This time naman, at the start of the third quarter, they limited San Juan to shoot only 37%. And that says a lot in terms of their defense, no? Itong Marikina's good rejection from behind for Ryan Makasarte.
And more importantly for Marikina, they've had 13 more field goal attempts against San Juan, limiting the opportunities for San Juan to score.
Well, it just shows, no, yung defense talaga eh. Minsan hindi na nga or madalas hindi na pinapatawid ng Marikina yung bola sa half court against San Juan.
Whenever that pressure defense is working for Marikina, basketball becomes so much easier for them.
And that's why they have a 4-1 record here in this tournament, only losing once against Antipol, and that's just their second game. Technically or literally, they've been doing a phenomenal job in more than a month already kasi their last loss was last June 6 pa. And the 3-point shot for Mucho. Mabigat.
Everything working for Marikina. Of course, Mucho Mabigat started this ball game, was not able to contribute anything, but this time open shot, knocking it down.
And that's the first 3-point shot made for Mucho here in this tournament. And battle for possession there, but ball goes to Marikina, increasing their lead against San Juan. And able to sink that one in for Clarence Eslao. Again, kitang-kita mo rin yung height advantage ng Marikina against San Juan. They have tall players like Eslao, they have Andres, even Denden Enriquez is a tall guard. Again, 14 under tong mga to. Halos kasing height na natin, and ano tayo 6'5", 6'6", no?
Ikaw lang yun.
Hindi, biro lang. Pero again, bang klase, makakita pa tayo mga growth spurts dito sa mga ibang players.
Oh yeah, most definitely. And of course, actually, itong si Clarence Eslao medyo underrated sa mainly because whenever it's Marikina, you talk about these two guys, Hanopol and Enriquez. Clarence Eslao is actually also averaging double digits.
Yes.
In scoring 10 points, and add to that the 7 rebounds.
And he's the third team in Marikina, overall for Marikina in terms of scoring. And he's the leading rebounder for this team.
And again, very important for them whenever that pressure defense doesn't work, when they have to play half-court defense, that's when the role of Clarence Eslao will definitely be magnified for Marikina.
As Lance Hanopol is the charity stripe, shooting 2 free throws. As Lance averaging 50% from the free throw line. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2 here, or he'll be able to match his or not. Sasabi ko sana ako mamamatch yung averages niya. Usually kasi, di ba, meron tayong ganun yung commentator's curse na tinatawag pag binabati yung free throw. So, na-jinx ko yung 50% yan. That's why it resulted to 100%. Oh, di ba? Positive.
So that actually helps.
Pero now, 46-17 is the score. 29-point lead in favor of Marikina. Is a 3-point shot. Air ball for Alexander Dahak. And Marikina has the possession once again. Hanopol looking. Gives it to Mucho. Look at the passing here for Marikina. Almost a turnover. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Completes the seal for San Juan. Let's see if they can convert this opportunity. And a miss for Asher Cacho.
That plane didn't see anything run there by San Juan, while on the other end, the transition basket is good.
And what a great pass right there. Bounce pass to Miguel Manalo. Parang reverse play yung nangyari, no? Or reverse roll. Kung sino pa yung maliit, siya yung nag-catch doon sa ilalim. Yung matangkad pa yung nagpasa. As a wide open shot, too strong for Santi Xavier, but ball stays with San Juan. And another miss from the outside dito for San Juan. As a team, itong San Juan, they are shooting 13.5% from downtown. That's the third worst in the Liga. And we have a timeout break here for San Juan. with 5 minutes and 44 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Pero let's take a look at this replay. Pero ang bilis kasi ng pangyayari, kaya mabilis rin yung replay natin. That's why, eto, babalik natin. Yun nga yung reverse roll na tinawag natin kanina. Miguel Manalo able to sink that one in. The small guy inside, shooting inside the paint,
Mabilis ang pangyayari.
Kalmado pero may lalim ang hugot ng mga salitang nabitawan ni Coach Ferdy of Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. He said, quote-unquote, ano ba ang gusto nyong gawin? Kayo na bahala. Gumising kayo kasi parang tulog kayo lahat. Habang naglalaro, mag-usap-usap kayo. Kung ayaw ninyo, wag na tayong maglaro sa susunod. Makabawi kaya ang players ng San Juan in the last 2 quarters? Rowie and Coach Noy.
It just shows that Coach Ferdy wants to wake up the players, no? Kasi again, right now, they are down by a huge margin already. So, ang ginagawa ni Coach is to motivate the players. There are different types of motivations kasi sa isang coach, you know? There are positive reinforcements, there are some negative reinforcements. That actually works, It really depends sa coach and sa players.
And again, when you're 0-6, I'm pretty sure Coach Ferdinand has tried everything to try and motivate his players. Of course, you cannot be too harsh on these kids, especially you're already 0-6. You cannot try to pull them even further down. So again, I'm pretty sure he's tried everything, and right now, baka naman tinatry nga reverse psychology.
Oo. And gisingin yung mga players, no? Kasi in terms of averages, this team right here, the 14 under of San Juan, most of their stats are actually dead last. Their points per game, last. Steals per game, fast break, points from turnovers, points in the paint. Their field goal percentage is actually last, averaging 30.6. That's the last in the league. As Eslao is at the line shooting 2 free throws. Again, Clarence averaging 47.1% as he misses. So 4 minutes and 53 seconds remaining. San Juan, again, like what you mentioned, Coach Noy, at the first and second quarter, they haven't scored in double digits as a team, as a team.
And even worse here in the third quarter, they haven't scored at all.
And we've already crossed the halfway mark in the third quarter as San Juan gets the possession. Let's see if this is the first made field goal for San Juan here in the third. However, there was a foul. I believe that's on Clarence Eslao.
Well, if you can convert from the field, might as well get to try and get to the free throw line, where so far San Juan has been shooting 5 out of 13, 38%.
Let's see as Macryan Makasarte is at the line shooting 2 free throws. But Ryan is averaging 33.3% from the charity stripe. Let's see if he can go 2 for 2 as he sinks in the first free throw. Finally, nakascore rin ng San Juan here in the third quarter after 5 minutes and 38 seconds.
Well, I think he is one of the new players for San Juan. I believe he played, the first time he played was that game against the Davao Kingthorn. And he just might have the opportunity to be the leader of this team.
Yes.
With 20 points and 9 rebounds in that game against Davao.
Grabe, debut game kaagad and more than grabe na yung performance ni Macryan Makasarte. Hindi lang yun, naka 9 rebounds rin yun si Macryan against Davao. So this is technically talaga his second game pa lang. He's making an impact already.
And so far he has been the leading scorer for San Juan already with 8 points in the game.
So 4 minutes remaining here in the third quarter. Still Marikina up in this match by a huge margin against San Juan. And a turnover committed for Macryan Makasarte. So ball will go to Marikina once again.
And you can see in that exactly what chemistry needs to be developed for San Juan. Of course, Makasarte, one of the new players for them, passing that ball way too high for Ramos.
And a 3-point shot. Can't get it to fall for Royet Villarreal. And there's going to be a jump ball. Possession arrow is pointing towards Marikina's favor as Elliot Cortez will check in. He'll be subbing in for Mac Ryan Makasarte. A well-deserved rest for Mac Ryan as he's doing everything right now for this team. Pero pag ganitong edad, parang gigil pa talaga itong maglaro eh.
I don't think they need to be sub. If if they had a choice, hindi magpapasub yung mga yan.
Yes. Well, si Coach Ferdy nagpasabi. Pero let's see
Pero kung si Coach Ferdinand magsasabi sa akin, lalabas.
Oh, laman. And another fast break opportunity for Marikina. And Royet Villarreal will go to the line to shoot 2 shots once again. Royet Villarreal averaging 57.1% from the free throw line as Fajardo will check in here in this ball game. Usually pag Fajardo matangkad na sa isip ko eh. Pero this time yung Fajardo, ito yung isa sa one of the smallest players inside the court.
Actually, Royet Villarreal, one of their top scorers, averaging 9 points per game. And again, can't really blame anyone to medyo hindi mo mapapansin yung mga contributions ng guys like Eslao and Villarreal, especially with the dynamic duo of Enriquez and Hanopol for Marikina.
Oh, meron pa ngang Kayose. Di ba? And right now, 2 minutes and 27 seconds remaining. Again, San Juan only has scored 1 point here after that free throw ni Mac Ryan Makasarte. Still no field goal made. Technically, free throw pa lang yung score dito ng San Juan. And credit to the defense of Marikina kasi, again, even though they're up by a huge margin, grabe yung depensa nila. Parang sila pa yung naghahabol.
Actually, that's the one thing that's been very consistent for Marikina all game long. Medyo may stretches where the offense is going nowhere, but the defense has been a constant for them.
And it just shows, no? Kasi it shows respect sa kalaban mo even though you're up. And you can practice some plays. This is the perfect time for Coach Monroe Quezon to mix and match the players. Then, yung mga third stringers niya, he can line them up na kasi they have the luxury to commit or to practice some plays kasi they're up by, again, more than what? 40 points? Or they're up by 40 points actually.
Yeah, again, an opportunity to fine-tune not only your defense but also the offensive end for Marikina.
However, another steal for Marikina's Royet was able to sink that one in. That was a great layup for Royet Villarreal.
And, already 15 fast break points for Marikina. San Juan just not being able to get back down on defense.
A great contest, but finally a field goal made for San Juan after 9 minutes in the third quarter. That's the first field goal and so naka 20 points na rin ang San Juan.
And, so far, San Juan only 3 points here in the third quarter after scoring 9 in the first, 8 in the second, only 3 here in the third period.
Nangyari parang ladder rin pero pababa eh. Diba? 9 points in the first, bumaba second quarter with 8 and right now just with 3 points with 40 seconds remaining. Let's see if San Juan can make a bucket here. 30 seconds remaining. 14 on the shot clock for Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. Oh, but great defense once again for Marikina as they get the possession as Royet. Nice tap pass, but hindi nga lang nakuha ni number 77, which is Calvin Vives. And 14 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. And too strong on that shot. But there was a foul called, but that's just, they still have one more foul to give.
I believe that foul was in the shooting motion, so that's going to be 2 free throws for Aaron Ramos.
So let's see if Aaron Ramos will be able to sink in these 2 freebies as he sinks in the first. Aaron averaging 50% from the free throw line.
Tama ka na naman.
Right on cue sa numbers, ha? Right? Numbers don't lie, Coach Noy.
Although he will get a substitute free throw. So pwede ka pa rin maging mali.
Oh, let's see. Pero technically, magiging 66% kasi 1 out of 3 eh. 2 out of 3. 1 out of 3, so 33%. So below 50. So, will that count? Oh! Will the referee count that one in? I believe they will check our IRS, our instant replay system. If that shot for Royet Villarreal will count, ending the third quarter. Grabe, ah. Let's see, ah. They still have time, though? Oh. Oh. Well, on that angle, Royet Villarreal shot doesn't count kasi hawak niya pa eh. Clearly, he is still touching the ball that time. So that ends the third quarter with a huge lead for Marikina, 60-21. As we take a look some of the highlights here so far, Coach Noy, what can you say about dito sa San Juan Mighty Warriors natin?
Well, San Juan obviously struggling mightily in that third quarter, only scoring 4 points.
Grabe. Let's see if they will be able to bounce back here in this ball game with our score ending the third 60-21. This is the start of the fourth and final quarter. Still San Juan struggling here in this ball game from the very start up until the start of the fourth quarter. Let's see if what Coach Ferdinand has in store for us. As for me, what I can say for San Juan is just look at this fourth quarter and make the lead respectable.
Yeah, for them actually, you try to compartmentalize the game, forget about the first 3 quarters, and try to build on something here in the fourth quarter. Definitely nothing you can do about them. Enriquez
with the suave layup. Grabe! Itong mga batang to, no? Ito yung influensya ng TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. Yung mga highlights na making it look fancy. Pero that time, not just fancy, but he was able to sing down. Kasi may mga bata na focusing so much on fancy moves, flashy passes, flashy handles, pero hindi nako-convert yung shots eh.
And ever since then, Enriquez has been very fundamentally sound. Sometimes you see a little bit of flashiness from him, but most of the time he's really very efficient in his movements. And what I like about Denden Enriquez, not even sure if he even likes to be called Denden anymore. Kasi Dwayne, no? Enriquez. But anyway, you know, even if he moves forward, yung natural position niya looks like he is easily a 2 or a 3, can even be converted into a 1. And you know, even if he has a growth spurt, yung naaalala ko dito si Gian Mamuyak playing in the pros now. He has the same build as Gian Mamuyak at this age. I remember our team was playing against that very legendary Lourdes squad where yung teammates niya doon yung Matthew Aquino, you had Dave Ildefonso, if I'm not mistaken, BJ Andrade, before sila lumipat wherever they went. But again, I can remember very well itong si Denden Enriquez has the potential to be the next Gian Mamuyak.
Grabe, coming from you, Coach Noy, that says a lot, ha? And let's see, living up to his name ng Dwayne, eh, no? The flashy moves ni Dwayne, di ba? Living up to his name. Reminds me of someone named Dwayne The Rock Johnson? Or malayo. Dwayne Wade, di ba?
So anyway, for Denden, if you're watching this, kung ayaw mo nang matawag na Denden, just approach the panel. We'll
just
stop calling you Denden.
Dwayne na lang or Enriquez? Ikaw na pumili, Dwayne. Pero so far, again, 41-point lead here, as able to sink that one in for James Lim.
And what you like on that play, the guy with the biggest smile was not James Lim. It was Denden Enriquez who set him up for that basket.
And it just shows to the chemistry, the trust of the players, from one another. Again, then he's the team leader in terms of scoring for Marikina, but he also wants his team to shoot a bucket. That's why he's now facilitating so far here in the fourth quarter. And it took San Juan to shoot that one in for 24 seconds. Let's look at the defense for San Juan, forcing Dwayne Enriquez to commit a traveling violation.
Again, if you're San Juan, you can see, they have flashes of brilliance every now and then. It's just a matter of replicating it and being more consistent, because you cannot afford to have, maybe 5 minutes of good play on the basketball court. It's a 40-minute game, and ito ang Marikina on their end, they're playing defense for the full 40 minutes, and that's why they have this huge 43-point advantage.
And right now, during our pregame, I mentioned yung average losing margin ng San Juan to all of their
Sakto kung ano sinabi ko.
43. Right on cue ka, Coach Noy. And right now, we're looking at a 43-point lead by Marikina. And this is the average losing margin ng mga nakakatapat ng San Juan in the 14 under division. Again, they're averaging 43.6 loss, aside from their previous game.
So that just shows how much respect Marikina is giving San Juan in this game. They're not just letting them score just for the sake of scoring. They're continuing to play proper and excellent pressure defense. And, that's what's holding San Juan to only 21 points.
And we have a turnover here. Pero before that, let's turn it over muna to Richie Sangalang.
Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors key player last game against Davao, Ryan Makasarte, aims to help the team through his play. His goal for his team is for them to execute their play properly. This time, nag-focus sila on conditioning and their shooting and is leaning for the teamwork of the team. Umaasa sila at hopefully nga daw ay mapanalo nila ang laro ngayon. How are they doing, Rowie and Coach Noy?
Well, so far, Ryan Makasarte is sitting on the bench right now, but in their previous game, and that was his debut game as a Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warrior player, he played for 28 minutes that time. He scored 20 points, and he shot 42% from the field. And hindi lang yun, he garnered 9 rebounds.
But so far in this game, only 8 points for Ryan Makasarte. Of course, in your debut game, wala pang scouting report na except if the other coaches have seen you play before. But in this game, he's already scouted, as you see Dwayne Enriquez with a basket and a foul.
And he'll go to the line for a bonus free throw, try to increase the lead to even more. And that increases the lead to 48 points. Marikina are dominating this game right now as the second or third stringer for Marikina ready to check in as a 3-point shot for Kendrick Centeno. I believe that's the first 3-pointer for San Juan here in this ball game.
After missing their first 12 attempts from the 3-point line, finally gets to knock one in. Centeno will score 5 straight points for San Juan.
However, sorry, miss right there for Denden, but John Andres was able to get the rebound, but there was a kick ball. So here comes a platoon substitution for Coach Monroe Quezon. So 5 minutes and 15 seconds remaining. 69-26 is the score. Marikina are on their way to a 4-game winning streak. They won their first game. However, they lost their second game. And after losing their second game, tuloy-tuloy na yung panalo nila.
And that only loss coming against Antipolo.
Yes.
So most probably if they get to meet Antipolo, playoffs na.
Oo.
Depending on the matchup. And again, very important for Marikina to keep on winning, mainly because you want to get a good position coming into the playoff.
Yes, right now, as of the moment, Marikina has only played 5 games. Before this game, they are seated at the number 4 slot with a 4-1 record. Nasa taas nila is si Rizal, sitting at the number 3 seed with 7-1. May Kawayan Bamboo Archers with 4-0 and Antipolo JY Titans, kung saan sila natalo, is the top team so far in our 14 under. So ang tumalo sa kanila so far pa lang is the number 1 team so far here in this tournament.
So again, just to keep their confidence going, whenever you face teams that you're supposed to beat, you have to win those games, and eventually you're gonna meet the top teams here in the 14 under division. And games like these, actually are preparation games for those big games coming up.
Especially we already crossed the halfway mark of this tournament, ha? Automatic, patagal na patagal, mas lalo nagigit-gita na yung laban eh. Kasi may mga scouting reports, nababasa mo yung mga plays ng kabilang team, napapanood mo yung mga laro nila from their previous games. So mababasa mo eh. And again, if you already know how to prepare your game, advantage ka na eh.
And of course, you have to understand if your team is scouting the other teams, it's the same way yung mga ibang teams, pinaghandaan ka na rin.
Siyempre.
So really, not much surprises anymore.
Yes, what really matters is the execution, di ba? Kasi at the end of the day, yun nga yung pinaka-favorite sa ko, bilog ang bola. That's why earlier, yung report ni Richie Sanggalang, di ba, kay Coach Monroe Quezon, hindi pwede magkumpiyansa even though they're na 3-game winning streak and ang makakatapat nila, San Juan na hasn't won any games yet, kailangan pa rin natin magseryoso. Hindi tayo pwede mag-relax. Like what you mentioned earlier, Coach Noy, di ba, na minsan parang trap yan eh.
Oh yeah, it's always a trap game going up against these teams, and luckily for Marikina, they kept their focus right from the opening tip. The defense was just excellent, and actually, you know, as the game went on, they were getting even better in holding itong San Juan from scoring
In double digits per quarter, As a 3-point shot from the left corner. Misses that time. So ball goes to San Juan. So Marikina's next game will be on the 25th. That's going to be Thursday next week. They'll be matching up against Valenzuela Classic Junior. So magandang game rin yun, ha? Kasi Valenzuela, this is the 11th seed team, no? Valenzuela is the number 10th with the same standings as of now with 0-6. As a 3-point shot once again for Kendrick Centeno.
all of his 8 points coming here in the fourth quarter.
Wow. Literal, parang magic bunot pala to si Kendrick Centeno ni Coach Ferdinand. 3 minutes and 10 seconds remaining. 69-31 is the score. And almost went in. Locked and loaded si Kendrick Centeno. No hesitation. But he misses that time. And 30, Lazaro was called for a foul. And that's his second personal foul.
So this is actually the first time in this game that San Juan has been able to get to double digits in a quarter now with 10 points, 8 of which coming from Centeno.
Yun ang maganda eh, no? Kasi ngayon lang natin nakita si Kendrick Centeno dito sa fourth quarter. Literally, I'm gonna say this na rin. I believe in their next game, magkakaroon na ng playing time to si Kendrick Centeno. The way he's performing right now.
Considering yung 8 points nga are his first 8 points here in the tournament.
Wow. As Kendrick Centeno already played 4 games, This is his 5th game, but so far, all of those games, he hasn't made a bucket. This is the, yun nga, like what you mentioned, Coach Noy. After 5 games, ngayon lang siya nakascore.
Again, every game is an opportunity for someone to step up, and even for, especially for San Juan, I don't think they've found their identity just yet. So, very wide open those roles, the scoring roles, who's going to be their top defender, on ball, off ball. Still a lot of growth here. So again, this might not just be the year that you try and evaluate the San Juan program. It's probably by next year, especially in the 14 under division, that we know how talented the 16 and 18 under teams are.
Yes, and at the same time, this is a learning experience, di ba? Yun naman ang lagi nating sinasabi, di ba? Learning experience lagi itong basketball.
Well, again, that's the easy excuse. You know, whenever you lose, you say it's a learning experience. But to tell you honestly, even the coaches, they don't believe that. Again, you're playing the game to get wins.
Yes.
And eventually, it's a stepping stone to getting to that level at which you're very competitive. And, right now, San Juan, you're going up against one of the top teams in the 14 and under division. So you cannot expect to things to be handed over to you. You're gonna have to keep working on it. And San Juan, if you watch them on their very first game, this is a totally different San Juan team. They're a little more organized, both offensively and defensively. But when you're going up against the top teams in the junior MPBL, obviously that's not going to be enough just yet.
So let's see kasi may mga games pa namang itong San Juan, di ba? How they will be able to bounce back here against a tough loss against Marikina. Now trailing by 40 points as we are down in the last 2 minutes of this ball game. And there was a foul called this time on Aaron Ramos. So 2 free throws dito for Clarence Estao. And so far after this one, it's going to be the 16 under division, wherein San Juan is sitting at the number 4 seed and with a different coaching staff in Coach Brito Roma. And for Marikina naman, who's sitting at the number 6 seed for the 16 under. So yung mga middle child na yung maglalaro after this one.
So we're expecting it to be a lot more competitive than the game that we have now, as itong San Juan nga down by 42 points. But at this stage, I think for San Juan, the priority is try and develop these players individually before you try to get them to play together.
Yes. As a minute and 26 seconds remaining. So far, this will be the 7th straight loss for Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. So for 2 months already, they haven't gotten any win yet. Their first game was last May 11 pa.
Actually, what's good for this Makabagong San Juan 14 under squad, they always have their kuyas para rumesbak para sa kanila.
Mas lalo na, again, yung kita-kita natin, yung sa 16 under pa lang, they are 4-2. And they are at the number 4 seed. Only played 6 games. Later, there will be playing their 7th game. So literally, parang nangyayari nagsumbong pala no? Sa mga middle child. Nagsusumbungan sila.
Although may mga games kasi they are actually the last team to play. Nauna 18, 16, 14. So baka medyo relax. Kasi nabera sila ng mga kuya nila. Okay na, kami na. Ayos na. No pressure.
Pero ito, 38 seconds remaining here in this ball game. 74-38. Marikina will get their 4th straight victory and with a huge win. If I'm not mistaken, this is the highest win here in terms of point margin for Marikina. And their next game will be the second to the last team, yung team na nakaangat lang sa San Juan in the 14 under, which is Valenzuela Classic Junior. And that ends the ball game. A dominating performance for Marikina Junior Shoemasters, getting their 5th win here in this tournament, as they are now 5-1 in our 14 under division. Meanwhile, Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors still struggling here in this tournament with the 0-7 record, Coach Noy.
Yeah, and it's going to be a lot harder for San Juan moving forward. Of course, all the teams trying to jockey for a position, but for the Marikina Junior Shoemasters continuing to be very impressive. Those main guys, Enriquez, you've got Hanopol, you've got Eslao, all scoring in double digits. So always very hard to choose kung sino ang ating best player.
Yun ang kailangan nating abangan in a bit. Pero that is our final score, 74-40. So it's back to the drawing board here for Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. As let's see how will they be able to perform in their next game. Pero sino nga ba ang ating best player of the game? Let's turn it over now to Richie Sangala.
Another win for Marikina Junior Shoemasters. We have here the player of the game, Denen Enriquez, with 18 points, 3 rebounds, and 7 assists. Matanong ko lang, naging madali ba tong game para sa inyo?
Hindi. Kasi medyo ano din yung kalaban namin and kailangan niya mas tambak pa eh. Pero ginawa na namin yung best namin.
May mga gusto ka bang pasalamatan o batiin?
Binabata ko pala yung papa ko, yung mama ko. Sa tita ko po, Yasinab. And sa coaches ko po, sa teammates ko. Yun lang.
As expected guys, our player of the game, Denden Enriquez. Mapasalamatan lang natin ang Don Benitos for providing a scrumptious Filipino delicacy for our player of the game, Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasaba. Back to you, Rowie and Coach Noy.
And that is the 4-game winning streak for Marikina Junior Shoemasters as they are now 5-1 in this tournament. Pero stay tuned lang mga kaliga kasi coming up is the 16 under division between Marikina Junior Shoemasters and Makabagong San Juan Mighty Warriors. Once again, my name is Rowie Sacote. Together with me is Coach Noy, Africa, and Richie Sangalang on the sideline. So mga kaliga, we'll see you guys in our next game. Peace!
Junior MPBL para sa'yo. Ang liga ng bawat batang Pilipino. Liga ng bayan na to. Klaro na to, huwag kang sumuko sa gustong gawin. Isang pangarap, isang tagumpay. Nagbayad pag-asa ng bayan, landas pagbabago, pag-asa ikaw ang mahalaga. Iba't iba.
Manny Pacquiao's Junior MPBL.
Would like to thank Dorite Bola ng Pinoy, the first Pinoy basketball brand, Don Benitos, ang pambansang kasava, Nature Spring, number 1, bottled water in the Philippines, pound for pound fitness, Be Liga Ready, Jinky Skin, empowering women by redefining beauty, Pound Active, for quality sportswear, Wing Bowl, it's like coming home, Chris Jacob Collection, for affordable but quality daily perfumes,